Lonzo Ball, ZO2, the Chino Hills prodigy, and is growing buzz around the league. I really don't know how this is news, but a lot of people around here, we on top of things. We know what's going on, especially with Lonzo, the triple Bs. And listen, Lonzo is on track, and I'm here to tell you, it's being reported that it's growing buzz that Lonzo Ball will be playing next season. And I tried to tell the people this. I don't know if we got selective amnesia. I don't know exactly. I can't pinpoint what it is, but a lot of people have been tricked, hoodwinked, and bamboozled, and I got a lot of reports to bring to you, y'all. Lonzo Ball will be looking to return after a 2-year hiatus. Make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things Lonzo Ball ZO2. You already know what it is. And the Chicago Bulls, man, it's crazy. I got a KC Johnson report. It's crazy what's going on. We all know what's happening with Lonzo, but this is a report that has come out that Lonzo Ball is obviously the wild card. There is growing buzz. He'll at least attempt to play next season. That optimism needs to be measured against the fact that he hasn't started taking contact or playing 5-on-5. Everyone associated with the Bulls is rooting for Lonzo, and the Bulls have to give him one more chance unless they trade him or they have little interest in his contract when it was included in some preliminary talks leading to the trade deadline, mostly as part of larger packages. Lonzo's initial surgery took place in January of 2022. We all know to repair the torn meniscus. He was later expected to return just a few months later, but his injury pretty much lingered with a lot of pain in the area, and it kept him from returning. It was a wild situation. We thought he was coming back for the playoffs and all that. But he had messed around and underwent two more surgeries after the first procedure. So it's led us up to this point. And a lot of people put out falsified rumors, like I said, with anytime dealing with Lonzo, a lot of people like to jump just go off, and it is what it is at the end of the day. But you guys need to understand that Lonzo has been working tirelessly to get back on the floor, and everything is on track. It has been some hiccups, and we all know the hiccups have been with the surgery. He has setbacks, and it has left us scratching our heads. What's going on. Sometimes, or some people have, downright lost it at this point. But Lonzo hasn't, and the Bulls haven't lost faith in him. And I think that when he does get back, he deserves this, this opportunity to come back to Chicago with the Bulls to finish what they started. And I gotta repeat, and I give credit to the Bulls for holding on to Lonzo, because they could have made this nasty. If he was on the Lakers, would he be still on the roster dealing? There's like certain organizations, they could have made this real, crazy. You didn't hear war words, nobody coming out saying, hey, we need to move on. We need to get a point guard. You didn't hear none of that. It seemed like they had placeholders in place until Lonzo got back. And that's what it seems like is going on, in my personal opinion. You can let me know in the comments section what's your thoughts on what you guys have been seeing, from the Beverleys, even to some of the other guards that they've drafted. Nobody I've seen is a lead guard. None of them. And if they was, I would acknowledge it. They have no lead guards on this roster. When he was on the Lakers, they ended up getting Rondo. A lot of people was trying to figure out what was going on, but it seemed like they was getting in place to make trades. Whenever you have a starting point guard and you bringing in another, starting caliber guard, it spells trouble. And it is what it is at the end of the day. But the Bulls need to get Lonzo back in the fold to maximize these pieces before they just throw it all out. Because it's getting to the point with Chicago, they have to make some decisions, in terms of their future. This payroll ain't getting no cheaper. And if they're not going anywhere, you have to start to think about letting some of these pieces go. They're ninth in the East. And this team, okay, a lot of people might say, hey, we in the picture. This team was not put together to be in the ninth place. This team was not put together to be scratching and clawing to get into the postseason. That's not what these guys paid all this money to do, and to me personally, I think they've had a lot of faith in Billy Donovan, and I think it's almost been to the detriment. I think that at some point they should have, in order to maximize the full, before you fully want to say, let's just let go of everything, I think you should have put another voice in place, because you have DeRozan, this is Zach LaVine, you got Vooch, you got to get somebody in here who can galvanize these people. They got to get somebody in here they can respect. This is DeMar DeRozan we talking about. When you step to DeMar, somebody got to be of stature. You can't be being a. I'm not saying that Billy is this, but I'm just saying you might need a stronger voice in there dealing with these kind of personalities. The Bulls, they're not all over the place, but they don't have a Hollywood atmosphere, but they have some strong personalities in that locker room. So I think you have to get somebody to gel and get these people in place. You got guys that were all stars that have to sacrifice now. People who was the number one option, 20 and 10, and now they becoming just a role player. You got to get a coach who could come in here and galvanize them and let them know what this is all about. It's bigger than a scoring title. It's bigger than the MVP award. So somebody's got to come in here to get DeMar to facilitate, to get Zach to facilitate, to get these guys to run a system and not just sit there and just go all over the place. I think that's something that's major that we have to consider. But at the end of the day, Lonzo Ball is on track to return. This is an unbelievable situation for Lonzo Ball. Like I said, I'm just ecstatic. The Bulls have dealt with a lot of issues, and to me personally, Lonzo's injury is the direct result to the Bulls just catapulting down. This team was not supposed to plummet like that. And without Lonzo, they look pretty much dysfunctional. They look like they don't know nothing, and that's not good. And I'm gonna leave it at that. This Flight Sports TV. Nonetheless, I've been reporting this to everybody that Lonzo was on his way back, but maybe y'all didn't hear me. We need to hear Bleacher Report. We need to hear these other guys announce it. But Lonzo Ball will be back, ladies and gentlemen, and there's nothing nobody's gonna be able to do about it. Homage will be paid. It's Flight Sports TV. You already know what it is. Shout out to the Prodigy, Lonzo Ball, ZO2. You already know Triple B's.